Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and this is our next Saturday with Stacy, YouTube class number 435. Welcome if you are joining us at 8 a.m. sunny California time, 11 a.m. in New York, and about 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. We are live chatting over here. There's a live chat and you are welcome to join us. All you have to do is type in hi, give us your name and where you're from, and we will all say hello to you and welcome you to the SMS family. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There's a little heart over here with an SMS. Just move your mouse over the top of it and click the subscribe bar. And for a chance to be a winner chicken dinner, well, you have to post a comment below, but we'll get to that. So first things first, I have just a few announcements and then we'll get to class. Tim Holtz Untitled Chapter 1 is releasing today. It's launching today. And I am very fortunate to say that I have it here physically in stock. Like, I can see it, feel it, touch it, with the exception of one die that we are waiting for. So immediately following this class, I'll be doing a short video showing you all the new Tim Holtz product and reminding you that we have expedited shipping and we have amazing savings on it. Even though it's brand new, we have value priced bundles for you, and even the open stock is on sale. And again, we physically have it here in stock. So we will be able to offer you expedited shipping because the Ellison Elves came and did, well, they didn't come here, they did it elsewhere, but they did all the bundling for us, which means all we have to do is put it in a box and slap a label on it and we are good to go. So Tim Holtz will be doing a live a little bit later on this morning. I will have to excuse myself from the live chat for a few minutes while I go to our online store and load all the product because I'm not allowed to show it before a certain time. But once it's there, holy smokes, artichokes, I think you're gonna love it and I think you're going to love the savings. And for those of you who have taken part in our Sizzix Spectacular Savings deals or our Spellbinders deals or our Tim Holtz savings deals that we do once a month, and we offer that expedited shipping, you know, I'm not kidding you. We get it out to you just as quickly as we can. If you place your order by a certain date, it will ship by a certain date. So, but all the terms and conditions are on our website. And if you want to wait and stay tuned after this YouTube class, I'll be going over the Tim Holtz product and actually showing it to you. Now, today I have got, well, let's do winter chicken dinner, and then I can tell you a little about what's going on today. So winter chicken dinner. These are two lovely ladies that posted a comment on our last YouTube. The comment was kind, I could approve it, and once it was approved, they went into the running to get a $25 gift card. Yay! I mean, hello, yes please, free money. So these two ladies, you don't have to do anything to claim your prize. Your $25 is already in your account. Congratulations. And to the rest of you, you just never know when I'm going to call your name. But if you never post, you're never going to win. This I am sure of. So, oh no. Really? Sherry, really? Oh my gosh. I'm never going to get this name. Oh my gosh, I'm dyslexic for those of you who don't know, not in a little way, but in a big way, and this is just hard for me. Sherry, I love you, sweetie, but is it Magion Calda? Sherry Magion Calda? Oh, Sherry, I am so sorry, I tried. Is it Magion Calda? I'm going to go with that. It could be completely wrong, but really does it matter? It doesn't affect your winnings if I can't pronounce your name. Okay, Sherry, you are a winner chicken dinner. I hope you are jumping up and down. This is a great time to win. Get some of that Tim Holtz stuff. Woohoo! Now, our next winner is Janet. Janet McChristian. Thank you, Janet. I got that out pretty easy. Janet McChristian. Hello, Janet. Congratulations. You two are a winner chicken dinner. Well done. Both of these ladies posted down below, left a comment that I could approve, and then our software randomly selected them as winners for this YouTube. And like I said, if you don't post, you can't play. And the way to post is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So let's do the winner chicken dance for both of them, Sherry and Janet. And I hope that both girls are standing up or at least gathering their family or fur babies around so we all can do, you're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, Couture for you. Congratulations to you. I hope you enjoy your winnings and buy something that makes your heart happy. Okay, so what are we working on today? We have got new Simply Defined kaleidoscope stencils. I do kaleidoscope stencils every other month. I do 2 stencils each month. They are value priced at $9.99, and there is 3 stencils per set, and we're going to layer them. But sometimes we have to say goodbye to the old to say hello to the new, and that's happening today. I have Marabou on sale at a deep discount. The entire category is part of our YouTube Yummy sale, and today I'm going to be playing with the Marabou Crayons and the Marabou Aqua inks, but we also have Marabou Easy Marble and Alcohol inks on sale. All of it has to go. I have to make room for a new manufacturer. I'm sorry to say bye Marabou, but we've got to move on. So we have it on deep discount, online only. I'm sorry, in-store peeps, if you want any of this product, you have to shop online, but you can do a pickup in our retail store. The order will fulfill in the order it comes in, so we don't pull your order ahead of anybody else's, but when it's ready, we'll call you and let you know, and you can come in and pick your order up. So all of Marabou is going to be at a deep discount, and when it is gone, it is gone. We also, in our search for getting things ready for a warehouse sale, found a whole box of Ranger Perfect Pearl. Who knew? So I'm going to be playing with Ranger Perfect Pearl today as well. But we only have certain colors and we only have so much. It will also be deeply, deeply discounted, and when it is gone, it is gone. So because of that, I have Ozzie Andrews Couture Creations Mica Powders, which are exactly the same as Perfect Pearl. I have them as well on sale for you. So if you get a few colors of Perfect Pearl but want to supplement some missing colors with Andrews with Couture Creations, you absolutely can. Oh my gosh, we're going to use some of this product in a way maybe you hadn't thought of before, or maybe you already knew how to use it and just forgot about it, and this is a really good reminder. Please keep in mind that the Simply Defined product is exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple, and we do have a new exclusive versus stamp for you. So, oodles to talk about, oodles to show you. Remember, Tim Holtz goes on sale around 9:15 this morning. I will have to leave our live chat. I'll say I'll be right back. Turn it all on. Because we're very unsophisticated tech people here. We don't have a website like a lot of these big online stores that, I mean, it's just incredible what they can do. I physically have to go and click each item and turn it on, but I think when you see what he has for you for chapter 1, and I think you see the bundle savings we have for you, between that and all of the goodies from Marabou, Ranger, Simply Defined, Ozzie Andrew, Hero Arts, I think it's a wahoo Couture. All right, I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. I'm going to show you some samples, and then we're going to rock it out. Are you ready? Good. All right, down we go. And I'm on my new setup here. So my camera is no longer on a tripod on my desk. I'm hoping it alleviates the shaking. Who knows? Like I said, we're not very tech savvy, and Mr. SMS and I are trying to put this together on our own, and it's a good thing we're a good team together. All right, down we go. Okay. So somebody said, why don't you just put your camera from the ceiling? Well, if I do that, I will never see you. I can't talk to you that way. All right, let's zoom on in. And I guess I can go up a little bit. So there we go. Okay, so here is a sample. And this was done by my son James. He'll be 21 in April, and he is back working at the store. Oh, I've got it upside down. Sorry, James. We'll see progress, not perfection. That certainly applied right there. The progress was I saw that it was upside down and I turned it around. Well done, me. This is a layering stencil, and then the progress, not perfection, is part of the Versus stamp set. So there's sample one, and let me put that back. And here is sample two. We rise by lifting others, and the background is also done with my new layering stencils, my Simply Defined Kaleidoscope layering stencils, and the sentiment is off of the Versus, the new exclusive Versus set. And then last, Dream Without Fear. So you've got the background is my stencil. The Dream Without Fear is on the Versus set. All right, are you ready to get started? Good, me too. So first things first, I'm going to show you the two stencils. This is the, look at it, kind of confusing, huh? But this is the diamond set. And then over here, I have the three stencils that make up the clock. Again, these are exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple. Woo! They are Simply Defined product. You get all three stencils for $9.99. They're value priced, and I can't go any lower than that. There's no additional discount. That is the price. There is an I want it all if you like both of them. And if you don't, that's okay. We understand. Then I'm going to be working with everything from Marabou Crayons to their aqua inks. I'm going to be playing with both Perfect Pearl and Couture Creations micas to show you how they work together. And if we happen to sell out of one of the Perfect Pearls, you can pick that color up over at Ozzy Andrews Couture Creations micas that we'll have on sale for you. I've got some of my Hero Arts cubes. We're not going to put the cubes on sale this week. They've been on sale for quite a bit, but I do have new cubes. I have 4 new cubes coming every quarter. So I'm hoping on I think the 19th, we may have the next 4 cubes for you. And at that time, we'll put everything on sale and do an I want it all on the 4 new cubes. And that way you can keep going with the colors, because we've added 16 colors for this year. So oodles to play with and oodles to do. I think I'm going to start easy peasy with taking one of the stencils and just showing you how they work. Now when I take them out, I keep them in order. And I have learned that I need to somehow write on them which is number 1, which is number 2, and which is number 3. I'm trying to find out how much it will cost to etch it on, but I know it may raise the price, so I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that or not. Also, depending on what inks you use, if you write the numbers on the front side, Hero inks are going to wipe them off. It's literally going to take them off. So I am just going to take my Sharpie, and on the back side, write a number 1. And I'm writing it everywhere because I know me. But on the back side, it's not going to come off because your ink's never going to get there. So there's my first stencil. Then the second stencil is number 2. So I'm going to draw number 2 on the back, turn it over, and of course I'm drawing it backwards because when I flip it over, then it's the correct way. My number 2s look like S's, but that's okay. I also know with this stencil, the number 2 is the one that has the diagonal in the center. And my last stencil is number 3. So let's draw number 3 on the back. And then I can turn it over And it just reminds me which way to draw it. All right, so now I've got my stencils all marked. I've got stencil number 1, stencil number 2, and stencil number 3. And when you put them all together, you shouldn't see any kind of paper coming through. So it's not only a stencil, but a mask. I'm going to stencil where the open areas are, but where the closed areas are, that's going to mask off and hide so I don't accidentally stencil over another color. Let's start with stencil number 1. And I'm going to go ahead and take some tape. I have these new cute little tape dispensers as well, also from the same place that a customer sent me these. It's a Japanese store, little store, and super cute. Oh, did I just, let's see if I can get, come on. Oh, nope, now I really botched it. All right. Let's just tape it down. Now I've got little tabs all over the stencil, so you have a place to put your tape. And I'm going to always leave 2 of my tabs without tape, and they're going to be used as my registration. Now I need to try and go back in here and pull this. There we go. There we go. And now I can start my line again. Come on. Yeah, I should have brought up my little new ones too. Try those, get those out. Well, they work great. This is operator malfunction here. All right, I think I'm back in business, and now all I have to do is put it through and kind of like watching paint dry. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. Back in business. Yay. Okay, there we go. Now, I've got it all down. I'm going to use 2 of my little tabs as registration marks. I'm going to grab my blending brushes from Ozzy Andrew and Couture Creations. They have a little lid to them, a little hat. I haven't seen anybody else's that come with a little hat. So other people have it where the color of the handle would be the color family for your brush. I just as soon have the little hat. So that's to me more important. And let's play. So let's do a fresh lawn. And I'm using Hero Arts. And I'm just going to go in there. And I'm just going to lay some color down. And where the stencil is hiding the paper, that's acting like a mask. And where it is open for me to color the paper, it is acting like a stencil. So to make this layering stencil work, it has to do dual purpose. It has to be a mask and it has to be a stencil. Otherwise, you will not get the layering correct. And by just drawing on the back, easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. Now remember I said I was going to use these 2 tabs as my registration mark. Now that I've covered over them and I've colored over them, I'll be able to line everything else up. So I think 1 is done. I think that's good. Now I can peel this up. Take off my washi tape because I can reuse that for my next one. And you can see the beginnings. Doesn't really look like much. I know, right? But wait, now let's do stencil number 2. And because I've got those registration marks from the tabs, because I've got that registration mark there and the registration mark there, all I have to do is put my tabs in the exact same place and tape them down. And that's going to tell me that I am all lined up. Okay, so my washi tape down here, my washi tape up here, washi tape over here, and I cut that one in two, so let's just grab another little piece. Okay, my washi tape up here. So now I'm ready to do my second stencil, and I need to pick a different color. If you use the same green, it can just blend into each other. I want different, I want variety. So this time I think I will use maybe my cornflower. Yeah, we'll see. Cornflower blue. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to stencil. And again, where the stencil is hiding, it's covering that green. So I can't accidentally ink on top of that green, and it's only exposing the triangles that I want to be blue. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing because it's acting like a mask. So I don't have to worry about accidentally blending those colors into each other. I'm going to be just fine. And anywhere there's an open space that has white paper needs to be colored blue. Okay, I think that's good. So let's take off and see what I have. So I can peel my washi tape off and use it for my last stencil, stencil number 3. It's getting there, right? Now I have one last stencil, stencil number 3. And again, all I have to do is line my tabs up. And that is going to register that I am in the right place. See, if I'm over here, see, I'm off my tab ends there, but it's here. The white is there. If I'm down too low, you can see that you're off. Of course, you could add a really cool shadow that way. But for this, I'm going to go ahead and line it on up. Tape it on down. Make sure I look pretty good. And we'll add our last color. And for that, maybe I will add a deep, deep blue. Yeah, maybe I'll just add a navy, just to give you an idea. And where? Oh, Stacy, no. Haha. I don't have it correct. I'm about to go right over my green. My green is what's open. No, no, no. I put my numbers on backwards. Look at there. Now I have my white. I was about to go right over my green. No, no, no. I need that white to come through. I need to hide all that green. No, no, no. That would have been bad. All right. There, now I'm better. Still my third stencil. I just need to make sure all that white is hidden, or all that color is hidden. I need only the white to come through. There we go. And there we go. And here. And there. You only want to be stenciling on white paper. You always are going to need the previous colors you've put down masked. And you only have 3 stencils. So if you accidentally turn your paper one way or another, just rotate the stencil. As long as your previous colors are covered, you only have 3 options. And let's go with the deep blue. That's what I was going to do. All right. So let's just get in there and get some deep blue going. And I want some highs and I want some lows. And I'm not taking off my color, my 3s, with my ink because they're on the back side. I think I am just about done. I need all the places that are white to have ink. Okay, we're good. We're good. Pull off my washi. And there we go. However you want to put it. We can trim it out. And depending on the colors that you use, that will change the look of your finished product. If I used pinks and yellows, I could be doing a little girl's birthday card or a baby shower. If I used browns and blues and greens, I could be doing something for a guy or for a little boy. It all depends upon the colors that you use because the pattern is perfect for everybody. And again, you can run it this way, you can run it that way. It's up to you how you want it to look when it's all done. But easy peasy. 3 stencils, that's all it takes. 3 stencils. So I'm going to put these off to the side right now. I'm going to put this one off to the side, and I'm going to bring out the clock, and we're going to do the clock also, and we're going to do it just in ink, and then we're going to move on to Marabou Crayons, Aqua Inks, and Perfect Pearls. But I want to show you them before just actually stenciled. Now with the clock, it's not as important to number them because each one of them has its own function. You've got the first stencil, and you absolutely can number it. So, but this is the only one that looks like this, unlike the triangles where they all kind of look the same. But if you want to, you can number it. And I'm numbering it on the back side because I know with Hero Arts inks on the front, it's just going to wipe right off. But because there's only one stencil that looks like this, I know that's number 1. And there's only one stencil that looks like this, and I know that's number 2. But if I want to number it, I can. So 1, 2. No, see, I should have numbered it. I should have kept them in order. There we go. 1, 2. Two. And then this is the last stencil. And again, there's only one stencil that looks like that. So let's get started. Let's grab a piece of white paper. And let's put stencil number 1 down. And again, I'm going to just do this in inks so you can see what it looks like just in ink. Now this stencil can be used all on its own, and you'll see in the samples, several of the samples, they've used just this funky stencil. And this is a clock, and it's kind of a weird looking clock, and I did it in a die, but I wasn't able to get the full detail that I wanted in a die like I can in a stencil, in a layering stencil. So let's go ahead and let's just ink it. And let's just do, since I've got the navy here, we'll do the navy. And all I'm going to do is this swirl. Let's get it good. Good and dark. And I've got my registrations. And then let's move on to the next color. So I'm not using Sizzix Maker's Tape with this. Sizzix Maker's Tape is really great, but for stenciling, because you're pressing and moving, sometimes the Maker's Tape isn't strong enough to hold the stencil in place. Make sure that, yep, there we go. Okay, so there's stencil number 1. Now let's go with stencil number 2. I'm just going to line it right up on those registration marks, just like I did before. And then tape it down. And because these are 3 distinct looking stencils, having the numbers on them isn't nearly as important. Little harder with the triangles because they all tend to look the same. But the triangles is such a universal pattern that can be used for so much. All right, and maybe I will do these numbers. Let's just do them in a green because we can. How about Tide Pool? We haven't tried Tide Pool. Let's grab a green. Put my little blue away. I put it back in its little hat. So I have 1 brush per color family is what I have. So all my greens are going to be used with my green brush. All my blues are going to be used with my blue brush. Now, it's up to you how many brushes you want and how many color families. I mean, you can have pinks and purples and teals and greens and blues, and so you can have lots of different color families. Or like me, I use kind of my my red, and I have a red, an orange, a blue, a black, a green, a brown, and I just go with it. So I'm getting it in all of these little nooks and crannies. And this stencil kind of has a distressed feel to it. So to get it all in there, you just want to give a good press and lots of ink. Your little brush is going to get in there really nicely. All right, I think I'm good. All right, let's see where we're at. So by having the layering ability, it allows you to use all the multiple colors. If I was going to make one stencil that had all of this detail on it, if I were to combine all 3 stencils into one, it would be impossible to go color after color after color. So there we are in number 2. And our last stencil, let's line it on up. Got my registration marks here and here so I can see where I need to move my tab. It needs to just see over here, it's a little off. I need to move the tab over so it's lined up with the registration mark. And once I've got it lined up, tape it down. Upside down, not good. There we go. And away we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this last one I'm going to do in black or in a dark color. I've got a chalkboard. Let's do it in chalkboard. So now I'm going to go into all of those nooks and crannies, and you can see everything in the blue and everything in the green has been covered up. It's been masked off, so I can't get in there and accidentally color over the top of it. And I'm just going to go in there, and I don't care if I go off the sides. I'm going to cut that off. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to cut it off. I just want to make sure I don't see any white. Before I pull this mask off, I don't want to see any white. And the beautiful thing is, if you lift it up and there is still some white underneath, you just lay it right back down and go right back over the place you missed. Because you've got the registration marks here and here, you're able to just lay it down and do it again. We think that's pretty good? Now I'm starting to pick up some of the color. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And if not, first off, it's only white paper. And second, I have the opportunity to lay my stencil back down and fix whatever I didn't get the first time. Let's pull it off. And look at the detail you have now. It just takes it to a whole nother level having all 3 stencils. So I'm going to toss this washi tape because I've done enough with it. I'm going to get myself a new piece. But now you can see it's not going to matter what I've done on the outside. I now can cut my stencil, my finished project right out. And again, depending on what kind of inks you use, will change the entire look and feel. I have to say I'm very proud. SMS girl Claire said this may be her new favorite stencil of mine. And that's saying a lot. The girl gets to play with a lot of different products. She's like, oh, I think I'm in love. How cool is this? Save the date. Guide cards. There's so much that can be done with this. New Year's, anything. It's just, it's unique, that's for sure. It's definitely a Stacy stencil. But I've given you something where it is all the time useful. All the time useful. Depending on the colors, and super fun. Mixed media, altered art. I mean, this is just a great fun stencil. And without having the layering ability, I would never be able to get all the different colors. If this was just a single stencil and all those cuts were put into one stencil, we'd never be able to do all the colors. Same here. It would just be too difficult. So that's what they look like in just paper. Let's move on. Let's take my diamond and let's play with this one. I'm going to wipe them off a little bit. Will your stencils stain? Yeah, it's possible that they will. I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit. Get some of that green off. Will the ink stain them? Perhaps, but if it's not a stained stencil, it really isn't a loved stencil. Your stencils are still pristine. You're not using them enough. A stained stencil is a happy stencil. I have a feeling I need that one to go this way, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to put number 1 back down. And this time we're going to play with Marabou Crayons. And let's get some washi tape. And let's put it down. Whoop. It's so nice now that I don't have my tripod on my desk. I've got at least 12 by 20, 12 inches by 20 inches of extra space on my desk that I did not have before. I only get 6 feet to play with. That's all I'm allotted is 6 feet. I gotta make everything happen in my 6 feet. I know some of you even have less than 6 feet to craft in, but that's all I get, so I gotta make the most of it. All right, stencil number 1. And this time I'm gonna play with the Marabou crayons. And I'm gonna start with yellow. What's a Marabou crayon? It is a soft pastel. So it's creamy and you get a ton. It's very much like a gelato, only it's a little more pigmented, a little bit finer quality than what we think a gelato is. This has got more pigment and a little more creamy. Now, how am I going to use this? I'm actually going to use it with a baby wipe. And because I'm working on a stencil, I need this baby wipe to not be too wet. So if you're taking a baby wipe out, you may just want to grab a piece of paper and get some of that liquid out of a baby wipe. Look at how much is in there. So I don't want my baby wipe to be too wet because I don't want the liquid, any of the fluid, to go underneath my stencil. I want to keep my lines as crisp and as sharp as possible. So I took some of the water out of my baby wipe. Now you might like that watercolory look and then don't take the water out of your baby wipe and you'll kind of have more little fuzzy, little blurry lines. It's up to you. I'm going to try and keep it crisp. So I'm going to put some of my crayon right onto a baby wipe. That's all I'm going to do. Crayon right onto a baby wipe. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to color. Now I'm just on 100-pound cardstock. This is not watercolor paper. And I'm just going to lay that color down right off my baby wipe. Right? Pretty simple, pretty easy. You want more color, you can add more color. You want to blend color, you can blend color. What if I took a little bit of an orange? I don't know how this is going to look, but we're just going to go with it. What if I took a little bit of an orange or a red and kind of put that right over the yellow? So now I've kind of blended a little bit. I can then pull it up. Oh, I want to make sure I get my registration marks. So I put some over there just to make sure I've got my registration marks. I can pull it up. Save my washi. This is stenciling made easy. Marabou crayons make it so simple and accessible to people who are not normally crafters. So if you're teaching a class of kids, students, seniors, church, and you're teaching a class for people who are not typically crafters, the Marabou crayons offer the best chances at success because it's so easy. They're using a baby wipe. It feels very available, very doable to people because they're just using a baby wipe. Now I'm going to line that up and line those registration marks up so that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then I can tape down. Oh, I shifted just a little bit. Tape down. And then I can come back. All right, I'm all in place. All right, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that red crayon. It looks kind of orange, but it is really red. And I'm just going to do solid red. Now I'm just going to keep using my same baby wipe. And Marabou crayons last a long time. They go a long way. And I'm just going to get some of this red in there. And I'm just laying some color down. And I haven't changed my baby wipe. I'm just going on top of the yellow. And I'm making sure any place that is white has been now colored in with the crayon. Okay. Take off my washi tape and let's see what we've got. So here we are. Now we have one last stencil to go. And that's stencil number 3. So stencil number 1 and stencil number 3 are very much the same stencil. They just have to go opposite of each other. So when you put stencil 1 and stencil 3 together, you shouldn't be able to see through it. If you do it this way, look, it's the same. Just turn it, and you've got stencil 1 and stencil 3. So I've moved out my stencil 2. I want to make sure my stencil 3 covers everything up. And it does. It only leaves my white. Now, if I was showing you this, and then I put it down like this, you would see my stencil 3 would show me all the yellow. That's not what I want. Then I just need to turn my stencil 3 around so it covers everything up. Just remember, the next stencil you go to should cover up all the previous colors you've done. You should only see white paper. All right, and I think I'm just going to do yellow on this one. So we kind of have a blend of the red and the yellow on one, solid red on another, and solid yellow on the last one. And because I'm going to do solid yellow, I am just going to flip my little baby wipe around, bring my yellow over, and go. So now I'm just getting straight yellow. And I'm just filling in all the empty spaces. And because I'm going on top and my number 3s are underneath, they're not wiping off. Okay, does it look like I got everything? And because I took the water out of my baby wipe when I started, my paper's not balling up. This is just 100-pound cardstock. This is not watercolor paper. If this was watercolor paper, that paper is meant to take oodles of water. This is just white cardstock. All right, let's see what we got. There you go. Trim it out. And it's up to you whether you want to trim it with the edge or without the edge. So on the blue one, let's trim this one without the edge. Okay, so this one I did without the white edge. This one I did with the white edge. You have options. Because you've got the border that goes around the entire stencil, you can choose to leave the white border or get rid of the white border. It's entirely up to you. Easy peasy. Okay, let's kind of wipe these down and let's try it. Let's just, you know what, let's do the aqua inks with these while we're here. Let's just do the aqua inks with this one right while we're here. What's aqua ink? So the ones I was just using was Marabou Crayons, art crayons. Love Marabou art crayons, but we have to make room. Mary Lynn, SMS girl Mary Lynn saying, we've got no room down the M aisle. You can't buy anybody that starts with M. And it's like, no, I just found a new manufacturer that I love. And she said, well, then you've got to say goodbye to something. So it kind of broke my heart a little bit, but it's a big savings for you. That's a good thing. Now, what is aqua inks? Aqua inks are a liquid watercolor. That's all it is. It's just a liquid watercolor, and they blend beautifully. We have, I don't know how many colors I've got, and we don't have a huge supply of anything. So they're on deep discount, and when they're gone, they're gone. How are you going to use these? You're going to use these almost the same way you use the crayons. And can you use the crayons and the aqua inks together? Absolutely you can. So let's take this green, and let's put my number 1 down again. It's all up to you what mediums you want to use, and mix and match what you have. So let's take the green. And again, I'm going to take a baby wipe. And because I'm using a stencil, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of moisture in there, but the minute you take a paper towel and you do that, you can see how much moisture is in there. And I want to get rid of some of that because I want it to be as dry as possible. I don't want any of that ink to go underneath, or as little as possible to go underneath the stencil. So I've got my baby wipe. And I've got my green, and open it up. Now you can put some of this in a little palette. You can get it on a paintbrush and put it down. I'm just going to kind of go whoop and kind of put some on my craft mat. And now same thing, I'm going to go in and I'm going to lay that color down. So aqua inks tend to be a little more transparent. They do blend beautifully. And I'm just going to do everything that's white. And because it is a liquid, it may seep a little bit underneath. I'm going to try. I tried not to. I tried, but I'm guessing that it probably did. But I'm going to be okay with that. It's only white paper. So there's one. Now we'll peel up. Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad. It's going to give you a little bit more of a watercolory look than the crayons. Now let's grab 2. And 2 needs to cover all of 1 up. Looks pretty okay. Down. I didn't do my registration marks like I should have. And do this one. So let's grab another color of aqua inks, and I'm going to grab the blue. Give it a shake. So you can watercolor with these, you can paint with them, you can make mists out of them. There's pretty much nothing you can't do with the aqua inks. And anywhere I see white, now all my green is covered up, and I only see white. Ooh, that's pretty. Go in there with that blue. How long does it take to dry? Well, they absorb into the paper fairly quickly. It's not like a pigment ink where it's going to take a length of time to dry. It is highly pigmented, yes, but it's going to dry pretty darn fast because it's absorbing into the paper. Wow, that's a pretty color. Okay. Gosh, I could have ended just there. That's so pretty. Those colors are beautiful. Okay, but let's add one more color because we can. And let's do number 3. Now remember, number 3 can't be like this. That's not going to work because it shows you all the green. And if I do that, if I add ink, I'm going to cover up all that green. Rotate it. And now it's covering up all the ink and only giving me white. Oh, I don't know. I like it with the white, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's make sure I'm lined up. Check my registration marks. I'm going to go with that. That looks pretty good. Put down my washi tape again. And aqua inks are water soluble. So if you put some down on your craft mat and then you add some water to it, you're going to lighten the color and lighten the color and lighten the color. And what color do we want to do in there? How about we grab a Marabou crayon and mix them. Ooh, I got lots of blue on there, but let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen? So now I'm using a Marabou crayon. Same baby wipe. And I'm just going to lay down some super soft color. Super soft color. Okay. Gosh, I like that. And I've blended the color a little bit. It looks really pretty. I kind of like that color. It's got a little of the green in it, a little bit of the, I'm digging on that. I could even pick up some of this and put that in there. Rotate this around. Get some of that. Oh, get some of that in there. Okay, I'm kind of liking it. Let's take off the washi tape. Oh yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Woo! Those are happy, pretty, under the sea colors. My washi tape has seen better days. We'll get a new piece. Pretty, right? And I used the aqua inks and the crayons together. It didn't just have to be one or the other. I used them both. So it's kind of up to you. That was done with just the crayons. That was done with crayons. And that was done with your aqua inks and your crayons. Kind of up to you what you like best. The beautiful part is they all play in the sandbox well together. You can use them together without any problem and achieve beautiful results. If you have the Jane Davenport liquid watercolors, if you have Hero Arts liquid watercolors, if you have who else makes liquid watercolors? Lots of people make liquid watercolors. Absolutely, they're all going to play well in the same sandbox. If you have Faber-Castell gelatos and you want to mix in some Marabou to add some colors to what you've already got, the gelatos and the Marabous are going to play well together. Everything is water soluble and they all are going to play in the sandbox really, really nicely together. You're not limited by what manufacturer you own. You're limited by what color you have. So if you don't have a red, no matter who makes it, you still don't have a red. But if you have a red gelato and a yellow Marabou and a blue aqua color and some Jane Davenport, then mix them all together. Pull out the colors. It's not about the brand. It's really about the colors you want to use. Marabou tends to be a better brand. They're more of a fine art medium, and I love them to death, but we got to move on. So that was using, let's see, where did I start? Oh no, this one was using, this one was using Hero Arts. Hero Arts inks, Marabou crayons, Marabou crayon, and aqua ink. That's what it was. And then this one was using Hero Arts. So can we play with this one and use the crayons? Sure, absolutely. I will tell you though, well, you'll see. I'll show you. That way you know. Okay, let's grab another piece of white paper and let's put number 1 down. Oh, I got my hands all in it. Wow, I did get my hand. Oh, I got my hands everywhere in it. Oh well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's white paper. We're gonna go for it. Let's take some washi tape and let's put this one down. Okay. And we'll start with a crayon. And let's get out a new piece of baby wipe and a towel, and let's get rid of that liquid again. There we go. Get rid of some of that liquid again. And let's start with a crayon. So here's a blue. And I'm just going to do my swirl. Easy peasy. I want to get those registration marks. There, sometimes I forget to do them. But easy peasy with the crayon. Look good? Okay, moving on. Oh, I forgot this little piece down there. Moving on. Pull my washi. And let's do stencil number 2. Line it up. Registration marks. I'm good. Tape it down. And this time we'll use some of the ink. And let's see. So I want to see what I know what the dark blue looks like. Get some of that off. I'll be able to come back and pick that up if I want, but I want to keep it from going under if at all possible. It still feels wet. So this is going to give you more of a watercolory look. And can you see I'm pushing it in? And it's definitely going to, maybe the lines are going to be a little blurred, but the stencil already has a distressed look to it. You think I got everything? See how I'm picking that up and just bringing it on over? Make sure my registration marks are done. Got it really dark up top there. All right, all we can do is see. Pull that up, lid, lid, and pull. So a little more watercolory. I'm not sure if I like the blue in the blue though. That's too blue. Let's take another piece of paper or another baby wipe and let's change it. Get that ink out or the water out. I'm going to throw this one away. And I might play with a little bit of the green. Let's see how dark this green is. And we're either going to make mud or it's going to be Wahoo Couture. Don't know. And because I don't edit, we're going to get what we get. Oh, I don't know if that green's going to do anything. Just don't want it so blue. Well, God loves a trier. Oh yeah, it seeped through. I can already tell you. It went through. But that's okay. We're just going to go. Probably should have stopped while I was ahead. Oh yeah, made a mess. Seeped through. All over. Okay, well, I'm still going to finish it. So not my best work. Went through there, went through there, went through there. Added too much ink. But I'm still going to finish it. Let's take the last stencil, put it over on top. All I want to see is white paper through it. Line it up. That looks pretty good. And this time I'm going to take my Hero Arts. So we've got we've got Marabou Crayon, we've got Aqua Inks, and we're going to use some of our Hero Arts ink to show you that you can mix and match. It doesn't have to just be one thing. It can be lots of mediums. And I made a mess, but I'm finishing because that's what I tell you to do. You have to finish. And then if you don't like it, then you can throw it away. But until you finish, you just don't know. I'm gonna get that ink in there. And it just goes so nicely in with a blending brush. Make sure any place that is white you can't see. See, I've still got white here coming through, poking through, winking at me. I don't want it to be white paper. I need to add that color. Does that look pretty good? I think I've got just about every place. And if I missed a place, I just come in and lay my stencil back down over the top of it. So we had kind of a hot mess. We still might have a hot mess. But so far it's just white paper. I don't know, once you finish it out, it's not so bad. Once you finish it, it's okay. Get rid of all the noise around it, all that extra color. And even though it's not perfect, we've made progress. I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. I kind of like the distressy look to it. It's up to you. But you can absolutely mix all your mediums together. Okay, moving on. And I think, well, let's just wipe this down. So I'm just using a baby wipe. Get some of that color off. And I think we're going to move to Perfect Pearl. Clean, clean, clean. It still may stain it a little bit. I'm okay with that. Like I said, a stencil that's not stained is an unloved stencil. All right, let's talk Perfect Pearl or Mica Powders. Lots of Mica Powders on the market. Ranger was probably the first to bring them, well, one of the first to bring them out years and years ago. It's one of the first crafting things we ever played with or I ever sold from Ranger. They are just that. They are a powder that is made of mica. They're very simple to use and they're highly effective. They have a stunning look to them. Couture Creations makes them. Pretty much the same look, the same feel, the same jar, the same product. So if you've got mica powders from multiple manufacturers, you can again use them all together. Now a lot of places will use Versamark with their mica powders to put it down. The Versamark stays wet long enough for the mica powder to affix to it, and then they'll use a little bit of water to set the mica so it doesn't get all over the place. That is absolutely one way to do it. However, I use my Essentials glue. It stays wet long enough. In fact, you need it to let it go a little bit tacky. And because it's a glue, you don't have to mist it with water to set your mica. It sets just on its own and it's not going to get all over everything. So mica powder tends to work better on darker colors. I'm going to grab a piece of white and I'm going to grab a piece of black and I'm going to show you the difference. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I've got my dauber here. Now my dauber, this is my glue dauber, and it's just a felt. This is the woodware little tool and a felt. And the felt, because it's got the adhesive on it from the Essentials glue pad, it never really dries. It stays tacky. And you can keep this one and use it again and again and again. You don't have to throw it away after each use. I just want to put down a little bit of that. I know you've heard it a million times, but I'm going to tell it one more time. This is how it comes packaged. This is the pad, which is right here. And this is the glue. This is not a re-inker. You don't get this at home and then open this up and pour it all over your glue pad. You don't empty this on and mush it in and empty it on and mush it in and then come back 2 months later and think that this is going to be like an ink pad where you can just stamp with it. You only put as much glue on your pad that you need for the job you're doing. So you may just do a little Z line and mush it in, and that's all you need it for. It's got a little plastic top to help keep it from airing out. And when you are done, when you finally use all of your glue, you can just buy the refill. You don't ever have to buy a new pad, because like today, I'm not even using the pad. I'm going to be using it on a little foamy blender tool. And So I just want to make some dots just so I can show you how the colors look on a white paper versus a darker color. Now, this glue works best when it's tacky. If you wanted to glue two things together, while it's wet, you would close it up and you can glue two things together. But you just as soon let this glue sit for 3, 5, 10, 20 minutes and let it go tacky. It's called a two-way glue, which means that when it goes tacky, you're still able to put something on it like glitter, like mica, and it's going to adhere. Now I'm wafting it to kind of make it go a little faster. You wouldn't want to take a heat tool to it because then you're going to dry it up in totality. I mean, it'll just dry. That's not what you're looking to do. A heat tool is too hot. I just want this to go tacky. All right. So close enough is what I'm going to go with here. Close enough. So let's grab, I don't know if I have all of these open. This one is. Okay, let's grab the green. That was a lot of green. A little goes a long way. Well, I'll just do them all. So I did green first. And then here's copper. I can probably take what's in here. A little goes a long way. Here's copper, so copper number 2. And then, I don't think I have this one open. Let's open this one. This is, oh, well, I can't tell now. Grape Fizz, that's what this one is, Grape Fizz. And some of the Perfect Pearl that we have isn't even, I believe, available anymore. I think we have some colors that have been discontinued. Grape Fizz. And then let's use Aussie Andrews Gold. And let's use Aussie Andrews Pearl. Okay, so here it is on black paper. I'm going to take an inexpensive brush. I'm going to kind of brush it all off, but that'll give you an idea of what it looks like on black. Now let's do the exact same colors on white. So it's been sitting over here, should be plenty tacky. You can see, there it is. And let's do the exact same colors in the exact same order. So a little bit of green. On the white, it's a little harder for me to see where the dots are. And let's do the copper. And let's do the Grape Fizz. And the gold. And the pearl. Okay, and we'll take our brush. So there's the difference between the white and the black. They tend to show better, a little more vibrant on the black than they do on the white. Just kind of is the way it is. So, if we were using the layering stencils and I wanted to use inks, or I wanted to use Marabou crayons, or I wanted to use the aqua colors, but I also wanted to add perfect pearl, and I wanted the color to be as intense as it is on the black. How would I do that? Would I start with black paper and bring over my stencils? But if I do that, well, if I put down some of my blue, it goes right into the black. This is a dye-based ink. It's not going to sit up on top. You're not going to see it. If I do some of my crayon, also, crayon, not going to show up on black paper. It's not really meant to. You see a little hint, but not much, and of the ink you don't see anything, and of my aqua colors. Because all of these mediums are meant to absorb into the paper. When that dries, it's just going to dry. Look at that, it's just disappear. As it's drying, it's just going away. You can't even see my blue ink. Well, that's kind of sad because I want to play with these, but I want to play with them and I want them to have that vibrancy you get from the black paper versus a slightly more muted look you get from the white paper. Not that it doesn't look good on white, it just looks better on black. Perfect Pearl always looks better on black. So how am I going to do that? Ooh, okay, let's play. So I'm going to take my white paper. You set up, and I'm just going to start from scratch. Here's my number 1. Let's get my washi tape going. So downstairs we've got these cute little, these are a cute little gadget, but we've got new ones downstairs that came in that the girls are using, and they're like the tiniest little tape dispensers, and they're so stinking cute. And a local customer brought them in for us because she saw this. Is it Daiso? Is the store? She was right by one and they had them. Oh my gosh, the girls love them. Okay, so let's start with one. And what color do I want to use? How about the Tide Pool? And I'm just going to do this like I've been doing it. Get my color down. Oh, that had a little black in it, but so be it. Get my color down. And because my ones are drawn on the back, my color's not lifting. Okay, are we good? Make sure that I do my registration marks. Ink there, and ink over here. That way when I lift it, I can see where I have to put my next one. Done, moving on. Let's grab number 2. Only number 2, we're gonna do a little different. Number 2, I want to use my Perfect Pearl, but I want it to be as metallic and as vibrant as possible. So lift up, let's lay down my number 2. Number 2 is going to cover everything I just did with number 1, and all you're going to see is white paper. Perfect! Put down my washi. Oh. And I always do the opposites. So I have these 2 as my registration, and I've taped these 2 down. I wouldn't tape these 2 and leave these 2 open as registration. I always do my opposites so that it's sure to keep everything in place. Now, instead of using a color, I'm going to use a black. I'm going to do my second stencil in a black, a dark color. Why am I doing this? I'm making black paper. I'm gonna give my Perfect Pearls a black base to work from, giving me a much more vibrant, metallic looking Perfect Pearl. And all I'm doing is laying down black ink. Because I couldn't lay down my blue ink on black paper, that didn't work. But I can lay down black ink on white paper. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, my washi there. My washi's in my way. Okay, so I've laid down black ink. Now, while my stencil is still on, and if you want to, you can kind of go over the top of it if you want to grab some of that black up. Doesn't matter. While my stencil is still on, I'm going to take my dauber. I'm going to add a little bit of my glue to my dauber. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add some glue on top of my black. Now see, it's not changing my dauber. I've not got black all over it. And anywhere I see black, and look at my camera's not shaking. Are we having a moment together? Because I'm having a moment right now. I have evolved. It took 14 different mounts to try and a couple different trips to a couple different camera stores, but I think, by George, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. I think I've got it. My camera's not shaking and there's no bzzz sound. Okay, this is a happy moment for me. Okay, I put my glue. And the glue is also water soluble. So don't worry that you're gonna damage your stencil. I'm gonna get rid of this washi tape because it's got glue all over it. And you can see it's wet, right? So I need to waft it a little bit. Let me kind of take a wet wipey and get the glue off my number 2. Okay, good. Yay, number 2. Waft a little bit, put my lid back on. And what color Perfect Pearl do we want to use? I think I might use copper. Let's use copper. So I've let it go a little tacky. It can sit here for up to 20 minutes easily. I'm going to take my copper and I'm going to dust it. All over my black little diamonds, or squares, no, triangles. That's what they are, triangles. Take my copper, and I'm not being too precise. I'm just kind of getting it in there. Can you see? I'm not being too precise. It will happen. I just need to get some in there, and a little goes a long way. So you want to pick up just a little on your paintbrush. And it's a dry paintbrush. I don't have any water on this. This is a dry paintbrush. And that's how it's moving, with a dry brush. A little goes a long way. You can always pick up more, but it's very hard to put it back. Could you do this with embossing powder? I could have used Versamark and then thrown down copper embossing powder. Absolutely. But there are oodles of you out there that do not have embossing powder or the heat tool needed to make it work. This gives you the same look, or the look of a foil, with just some glue. Okay. So now I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to kind of spin it and move it all over. And anywhere there's still sticky, it's going to stick to. Ooh, that looks good. Now I can tell you there's some black that I missed. All you have to do is a little bit more and come in and paint it on with a dry brush. And if wherever it's a little black, it's still sticky. You can cover up all of that black with just a little bit more powder. And you don't want to press too hard because you don't want to get it all over the white. You don't want to color the white with this. Just kind of want to lay it down there and then I give a really good brush. Oh, that looks good. Now, what color do we want to finish? Because we still have stencil number 3. You could be done. You could. Now, remember, stencil number 3 has got to cover everything. It's got to cover everything, leaving just the white. I could come in here and I could do this now with black and add a different color. Perfect pearl. I don't know, do we do that? There's options. I have too many options in front of me. Do I just do it with ink and have that copper really be the standout star? What if so let's put it, am I there? Am I centered? Okay, what if I put let's see, what color is emerald green? I don't know that I'll like emerald green on this. Okay, but I don't know that I won't. It's only paper, we can try, right? What's the worst that's gonna happen? So what if I took the emerald green and I filled in all of my spaces? Oh, I think that might be too close in color. But let's do it really dark. I filled in all my triangles. Not squares, not circles, not diamonds. All my triangles with my emerald green. Okay, so we're there. We got them all done. I've got my color really intense. Let's see what we have. Ooh, so I'm not mad at that either. But what if I came back? And I'm just going to do it over some of them so we can see the difference. What if I took my ink, my glue, I'm only going to do it on some of them, though I probably put my fingers in it, but I'll do it over one half and leave the other half. Okay. Okay, I can see, I can get a reflection to see if I've got it covered. See, no glue, glue. Can you see the difference? Glue, shinier, no glue, dull. So let's pull this up. Lid. Let's pull this up. And it's got to go tacky for a minute. So let me get all this off and let me cover this up and let me wipe off my stencil. There, all my glue is off of it now. Not off my fingers, but we'll get there. And this is going to go tacky. Let's waft it just a little bit just to give it a chance. Okay. Again, you can leave it much longer. The tackier, the better. Said with as much love as possible. What if we just took the pearl? And I put the pearl over the green. Just took the pearl and put the pearl over the green. It doesn't have to be black to start with. We used the dark green. I'm just kind of painting it on with a dry brush, and I'm using glue, the Essentials glue pad, and not Versamark, because I don't want to have to miss this or set it with anything. The glue keeps it from you having to set it. Okay, so I've got a little bit going on. I'm going to take my brush, kind of move it around. Oh, the pearl actually covered up the green. See, good to know. Now you know it doesn't have to necessarily be black. Any dark color gives that mica an opportunity to play. Let's trim it out. And then you decide. Options aplenty. Let's get rid of all the noise, which is all that color around it. If you don't try, you won't know. Got my finger in it, but that's okay. I don't know. Do you like it better with the green? Do you like it better with the pearl? What do we think? Beautiful thing is, you don't have to choose. But can we do it with the clock? White piece of paper. Bring over the clock. Okay, 1. Tape it down. Do 4 sides, 4 tabs, leave 2 of them open on the diagonal for your registration marks. Black ink. And I'm using chalkboard. You can use any black ink. Oh, Stacy, that was my blue marker. Ooh, that's... Okay, so blue is in the black and the black is in the... That's not good. Okay, well, it'll be what it'll be. So I can't take my black paper and add color to it with a dye-based product. So my crayons won't work, my dye-based inks won't work. Pigment-based inks will work, but then you're going to need to let them dry or throw some clear embossing powder over the top of them. But I want to make a black paper. I want to make a black base for that perfect pearl. Think about the stencils that you have, where now you can take them and by setting down some black, you can alter the whole look of the stencil. You can do the whole stencil in black on white paper and then go over it with perfect pearl and still have the negative space in the white. Say what? Okay, I've got it all black, right? Grab my black. Grab my dauber. A little bit of glue, just a little bit. And then go in and get all of that black with some of this glue. Oops. I can see whether it's shiny or not. That tells me if the glue is down. Looks pretty good to me. Put my lid on. Get the glue off my fingers. Lift up my stencil. Save my washi for my next stencil, my layer number 2. I've got good registration marks. Gosh, you could use that just on its own for something. And I can see that it's got a sheen to it. So while that's going tacky, I'm just going to take the glue right off of my stencil number 1, and if it dries, it's okay. It's water soluble. Come back later and wash it off if you want. Let's let it go tacky. What color do we want to do? How about gold? Maybe we'll use the gold. Let's bring over the gold. And my brush, and again, my brush is completely dry. And I'm just going to start patting it into place. And less is more. I'm not trying to get it all over the white because the harder you press, you might leave some residue behind. So I'm just using a super light touch and just moving it all over my swirl. And that way when I brush it off, it brushes right off the white. So a dry brush, perfect pearl on inked black. Can't get a dye-based ink on black paper to show up, but you can get black paper or black ink on white paper to show up. And all that does is give you a foundation to start laying your metallics. That's all I want is a foundation to just start laying my metallics down. I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to gather up all of that gold little bits that are around, and I'm going to kind of brush them into place because I want it to cling. Ooh. Any place you still see a little bit of black, you can add a little bit more. It just means that there's still glue that can take more of the color. Super light touch. Brush, 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 brush. Ooh, okay. Now let's do stencil number 2. That's this one. And I can line there. And I can line there. And put it down. Because I've got my registration mark, so I know exactly where to lay it. And there. Here. And I lost a piece. Oh, there it is. And here. And let's grab that cornflower. Of course, I put my blue and my black, so let's try and get some of that black off of my All right, let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Let's try the cornflower. And just ink it up. And get the color in there. And I can swirl all over because I'm using ink. There's no way it's gonna spread. I don't have it on a baby wipe. And just remember, when you're using those baby wipes, oh, I got a little bit of washi tape right there. Okay, when you're using those baby wipes, make sure you take out some of the water. Sometimes they're just too wet. You almost want it to be a dry rub, but you need a little water to make it move. Oh, and I made these move, but that's okay. It's gonna be what's gonna be. Think I got it in there okay? All right, we're gonna go with it. And blue with blue. Let's see what I got. A little bit of gold there, but that's okay. We'll live with it. Ooh, see, I got a little bit of gold because I had a little bit of, it's still, there was a little bit here that got from my stencil, but okay, I'm good. Let's go. Put over my layer number 3 right on top. Tape it down. And just a little off. There we go. And we'll do my black. And put the final detail on. That just ties everything together. All right, I think we're good. Cut away the noise. Bam. Now I could, even if I really wanted to, you think I can get some in there? Little bit of glue just on that center. A little bit of glue just on the center. Maybe use like I didn't have a Q-tip with me. A Q-tip would have been perfect. Or one of Ozzie Andrews' little blending brushes would have been perfect. Just make it a little bit. Now I have a gold little a gold little piece holding my my hands together. You have options, oodles and oodles of options with this product, with all of these, using them together, blending them, taking them to a whole different level, knowing that you can take your perfect pearl and use a dark base, white paper, dark ink, to really make that perfect pearl shine. I mean, we did a little bit of everything here. We started with just Hero Arts inks. That's all we did was Hero Arts inks. Then we brought in the crayons and played with the crayons to get a look. Then we played with the aqua inks and the, gosh, did we do the aqua inks, the crayons, and the, no, we did 2 aqua inks and a Hero Arts ink to get this. We just played and played and played to show you all the different things that can be done. Who knew you could take white paper and just by adding black to it can make that perfect pearl stand out? Because again, on black paper, you can't take a Marabou crayon and you can't take a dye-based ink or a watercolor. It just won't show. They just absorb right into that paper. But you can take white paper and add black ink to then be able to go back and add a metallic without having to heat emboss. Yay! Love it. I was supposed to have done this YouTube last night and I was struggling, so I did some samples last night too. Yay. Lots to do. Oodles to do. So, we have played with the new Simply Defined layering stencils. There's 2 of them. We do 2 every other month. We've got my clock, which I happen to love. I think it's just fun and unique and different. And then we have our triangle pattern, which again is useful and totally changes all by what colors do you do with it. Changes the look dramatically. What is it that you want to do with it? Changes the look dramatically based off of what colors you use. Now I could go on this one, and now that I've got that black down, I could ink it and put down Perfect Pearl. Absolutely. So we played with the Marabou crayons that are going to be on sale, deeply discounted. We have some of a few and lots of others, and this isn't even all the colors. This is just a representation. So those are going to be on sale. The aqua inks from Marabou are going to be on sale. A liquid watercolor. You can use these for so much. You can paint with them. You can mist with them. You put them in a little mister and add some water and spray them. You could take a little bit of aqua ink, mix it with a little bit of Perfect Pearl or Couture Creations mica in a mister, and now you've got a shimmery mister. There's just tons to be done with them. We have a little bit of everything, not a whole lot of anything. And then we have oodles of colors of Perfect Pearl, and we've combined them. We also have Couture Creations in there, so that if you miss out on a color from a Perfect Pearl and want to fill it in, you can do that with your Aussie Andrew. Again, deeply discounted. When they're gone, they're gone. We've done our best to keep the inventory as accurate as possible. If for some reason we are off by any, we apologize in advance, and you will just receive a refund for that. So did our best to make sure that our inventory is as accurate as possible on these. Okay, so then we also have, push that out of my way now that I have room. Like I said, we have the 2 stencils. You can buy them individually for $9.99 or an I Want It All, and it's $19.80 or 98 cents. So that's as low as I can go on the 2 stencils. We have a brand new Versus set, and I love the sentiments and I love the size of them. So it says the first one's Be Your Own Hero. Then the best view comes after the hardest climb. Dream without fear. It doesn't get easier, you get better. Isn't that true? It doesn't get easier, you just get better at it. We rise by lifting others, and progress, not perfection. So this is an exclusive Versus set that's done just for Scrapbooking Made Simple. You will only find it here, and I picked the sentiments, so I'm hoping that you like them. I love the best view comes after the hardest climb. That is so true. When you've worked so hard for something, it's kind of like, it's kind of like my little, camera. We've worked for so long trying to figure this out because we're just not tech savvy. It's not something we do. We don't know anybody who is. We just had to figure it out on our own. And it worked, and it looks so good from this view. So This sentiment is so true right now for me. Love these. And you'll only find them here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Look at how easy is this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have samples to show you. We'll put the blenders on sale, and we'll put the glue on sale. So there's tons of product there, and a lot of it discounted, so that if you are on a crafty budget, this is a great time for you. Let's look at samples. So this is one that my son James made this card. Progress, not perfection. This is his second attempt at the card. So he did the front twice. He did the front on one of the cards Claire made, but he wanted to go back and try again. So he did, and this is where he got. So this is James's card. Well done, you. Here, look at, they've been cut up. Isn't that cute? So instead of keeping them as a single sheet, they've been cut up. Be your own hero. I don't know. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. That way? Yeah. That way? And it's been embossed with clear embossing powder over the top. Yeah, that way. Nope, definitely that way. Clear embossing powder over the top to give some of those triangles a little bit of splash. And just look at, see, depending on the color, it changes everything. It doesn't get easier, you get better. And here we have progress, not perfection. So look at how misty that is. It's done with water. It's a water technique. Be your own hero. Ain't that the truth? Here, look at the mica in there. It doesn't get easier, you get better. I love this one. Isn't that the cutest card? With fussy cutting going on down there. Love the colors. Love that we ran the pattern this way. And then do you remember the stamp set that we had to go with my little Spellbinders stacking sentiments or stacking dies? Look at, that's the little triangle from my exclusive Spellbinders little stamp set that went with all my stacking dies you got for $9.99. Look at that stamp. Isn't that so pretty? And here, this is just using the swirl from the clock. Nothing else but the swirl. Look at the colors. I love the colors. And here, this was done on patterned paper. So we had patterned paper that had, the pattern was out of a creamy white. So we inked on top of the patterned paper. Doesn't have to be just white paper, what you got. And look at progress, not perfection. So pretty. And then over here, I have got Dream Without Fear. I showed you this one in the beginning. And we rise by lifting others. And again, now the pattern has been used in a horizontal manner. And again, inking on top of patterned paper. And here, this one, the background was made first. We didn't even use stencil number 1, just stencil number 2 and stencil number 3. Dream Without Fear. And look at the ombre on the colors. Don't have to keep the triangles one color. Sure, you can blend your color. Progress, not perfection. And again, just using the swirl. And how pretty is this? Look at how soft and wet and inky it is. Everything kind of blends in. You get the idea of the pattern, but it's not in your face pattern because it's soft and it flows into each other. We rise by lifting others. Embossing powders on this one. And here's the swirl on top of the triangle. And how pretty is this? And so this was James's first attempt at the front, and he wasn't crazy about it. So he said, I'm going to try it again. And Claire said, well, I'm going to make it into a card. And she did. And it's perfect. So last thing I have is a couple layouts. So this is Elena's layout. I'm pretty sure this is Elena's layout. There you've got your stencil. Here, she's cut them out. Gosh, I think this is Elena's layout. There's no name. And then Matt, I love how she did this. Absolutely loved how she did this from the stencil. Just found the pattern and cut it out. So pretty. And then the last one I have is Claire's. And here Claire used 3 different types of embossing powder to do this. She did the background with embossing powder and just randomly stenciled everywhere with, I think, stencil number 2 of the clock. Look at how pretty is that. This is Claire. All right, you guys. So we did a lot. We talked about a lot. Let me zoom on up. I can just do that. My camera didn't make any noise. It didn't shake. The view is really good after a hard climb, and progress, not perfection, is absolutely true. So now I'm going to clean up this mess, and I'm going to get all the Tim Holtz product that we have for chapter 1, and I'm going to end this YouTube, and I'm going to start another, which will be a quick one, just taking you through his latest and greatest product. Keep in mind, we do have it physically here in the store with the exception of one die. And that die should be here. It's stuck in customs. It should be here at any time. We will start shipping this product by next Friday. So if you place your order for Tim Holtz and it is the only thing on if you want expedited shipping, all you have to do is place an order out of the Tim Holtz Sizzix Spectacular Savings Sale category. It can't have any other product on it. No Stacy tape, none of the Perfect Pearls, none of the Marabou, the stencils. It can only have product out of that one category, and you have to do a pay now order. If you do that, your product will start to ship by next Friday, which I think is the 11th, February 11th. So you have to have your order in no later than February 10th to get expedited shipping, not have anything else on the order, and do a pay now. If you don't mind waiting and you don't need the expedited shipping, then you are welcome to do a pay later for any Tim Holtz product. You're welcome to order any of this discounted Going Gone Marabou or Perfect Pearl product, my stamps, my stencils. Just know it will ship in the order it was received. So when we get to this YouTube number for shipping, that's when it will go. It will not qualify for expedited shipping. And if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. Now, if for some reason that one die does not show up in time by the 11th, when we will start to ship, we will go ahead and ship you everything else in your order. And at our expense, we will then ship you the one die once it gets here. So we're not going to hold your entire Tim Holtz order for one die. And when it gets here, we'll pick up the additional shipping charge to get that one die to you. Fingers crossed it will be here by the time we start to ship. So it is me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and I'm going to clean up and start bringing the Tim stuff up and do a quick YouTube on that. Hopefully you will stay with me because I will continue to be live chatting through that as well. Okay, you guys, I will see you later. Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Bye.